Hello, sexy human divine cave dwellers. Good to see you tonight. Yanava, Om Saram Guru Devadatta. Hello, Rena on YouTube. Let's see what's happening on YouTube. I got my brother, Cecil McDaniel, to put his hands into the brain of my system. He did good. No drop frames. I shouldn't have drop frames. I upped my RAM from 32 to 56. Then I'm going to 64. This is a lot. I should have no power pushing to the moon. He said there were some settings inside that this and that and blah, blah, blah. Turned them all off. No drop frames, no drop frames, and no drop frames. No high CPU usage. Yo, I got an ohm sign in my goatee. Bah. Tonight is Center of Light, the cave of Samadhi. Brave to slave. Tonight is going to require that very bravery to get out of the slavery. Tonight it's powerful. Probably the greatest spiritual teacher that can ever come in any form. Tonight we're going to be speaking about fear. Greatest spiritual teacher there is. God's love. Yes, God's love comes to you through not fear, but the reflection of, because everything is a mirror. And God simply says, I am the light, and you're trying to hand me darkness. And all I'm simply going to do, because I love you, my divine child, is reflect to you what you're asking for me to give. Learn the lesson, and then ye shall live. We're going to be talking about guilt, fear, anything that falls under the umbrella of fear. Fear, a silent killer. It's not so silent because it's always violent, is it not? When you're afraid, you don't go, oh my gosh, I'm just simply afraid. Oh my gosh, I'm afraid. Even if you don't have the Cajun hands like I do and speak with hands, somewhere inside you're saying, oh my God, I'm afraid. So it's violent. It's not so silent. It's silent because of the ones who are not aware of their ongoing life that may be filled with turmoil, rapids, trouble, anxiety, fear. It's silent in that regard. And believe it or not, people will do whatever they can to guard it. Do they not? Do you not? Do I not? Do we not? Somehow, strangely, fear is very sacred to us. It loves us and we love it. So let's get real. I want to see who's here. I want to acknowledge someone who's sent me something today that was really powerful. They know that I love fire, hence I'm Sagittarius. In the cave of Samadhi. Also, while I'm thinking about it, when I was a kid, when I was a baby, an infant, for about a year, I had a birthmark on my third eye. I will post a picture tomorrow and tag a few people, whatever. On my third eye was a birthmark, a raised blood, I don't know what it's called, a birthmark that was of a heart on my head. Now I know. And I just realized that a moment ago. Yo, because of my path. It's very Hindi-like, but it's also Christian-like, and it's also Buddhist-like, and it's also Muslim-like, and it's also Zoroastrianism-like, and it's also Sikhism-like, and Jainism-like. It's love-like. I understand now, Swamiji. Thank you. Speaking of Swamiji, I want to make an announcement before we dive into the cave. Swamiji, if you know me and you've been with me for a while, you know that Swamiji is God. You may know, or at least know that I believe it is. but it's God. Any teacher that speaks about love and peace only comes from the source of creation. Anytime you speak love and peace, the source of creation is coming out of your mouth. Swamiji is that. Let me look at the information here. So for those who have been following me and loving some Swamiji, divine light, divine fire. I am, of course, I am I am us, USA 2020 Interfaith, like I just mentioned, all the faiths coming together in unity, an intercultural gathering hosted by Viswayogi Foundation and the Unity Church of Practical Christianity. You want more information? It will be on my wall. You can contact me directly. I'd be more than happy to send it to you so that on the date of September 19th, you, even though it's remotely, trust me when I tell you, at least in visual and audio form, which is, you're always in the presence of it anyway, be in the presence of God. I'm fortunate to be able to spend time with Swamiji when he comes to town, once, at most twice a year. It's changed my life. Many things have changed my life. He just happens to be another tear that threw me off the cliff and into the fire of samadhi. Samadhi, union with God. I don't mean believing in God. I believe in God, I believe in God. That's wonderful. Are you seriously walking into the fire? Just asking the question. I'm not saying you aren't. I'm not judging. I want you to be. Move. If your thing is Jesus, move all about some Jesus, so much so that you lose yourself to where all that is left is Jesus Christ himself. Because I am in my Father's in me, and I am in you. That's a circle within a circle within a circle within a circle. And you're located in there somewhere. At least the you that you think, even the you that you think you are. The egoic you, which is not a bad thing, is the most beautiful part of you. People think the ego is something you want to smite and squash. You will never love yourself by smiting and squashing your ego, because your ego is what you think you are. So loving your ego is a stepping stone to bring you to the love that you are. It's not hard. It's never been hard. You are a divine child. Let's see who's here. I'm not showing anybody in the room. Something seems a little squirrely. No, it says 5 years. Would everyone here say hello? Hi, Pam Beal. Even if you're from the outside and you want to step back outside, just say hi and step out. I'm testing new technology. Had some issues. Let me see what's happening on YouTube. Hello, Kelly Curtis says, hopefully everyone doing out with the storms and all the fires going on. Kelly, isn't that, thank you, and blessings by all means. But isn't that strange? On one coast there is water, and on the other coast there is fire. Hello, Marina Govier. Isn't it odd that on one coast there is water, on the other coast there is fire? Little strange. How badly does the water and the fire truly need each other to amalgamate, come together in a divine space of divine unity? The fire needs the water needs the fire. The fire needs the water so it does not no longer destroy people's lives, and the water needs the fire so it can turn it back to steam, so it can then therefore rise back into the spirit. Do you hear it? You have to clear it. You have to clear your fear and your guilt. The cave, a silent killer. Fear, period. Everything else under that, anxiety, nervousness, insecurity, jealousy, guilt, undeservingness, unworthiness has to all be burnt. And as Marina Govier said to me today, sent me a message and said, we need to go into the cave of fire, the cave of samadhi, to burn away everything that is not God. Eat that cracker. We need to go in the cave of samadhi, the cave of ourself, being alone. Or literally, monks do go in caves to be alone. We should enter the cave of fire, the cave of samadhi, so that we can burn away everything that is not God. Gorgeous, said the same way, differently with utterance, is when you go into the cave of fire, samadhi, everything will be burnt away that is not God. Take your shoes off when you enter the cave. When you go into meditation, if you got your shoes on, just take them off. Why? Because you're entering the cave. Shoes are not needed. You are walking on holy ground, Moses or Mosette. You won't need your shoes because your body is going to burn away anyway. Taking off your shoes is an act of repentance, an act of forgiveness, an act of contrition. Oh my God, you are going to die. You are going to die on some level. Level up, and you will realize the only thing that can happen to you in the fire is to live. But you have to give yourself to it fully, powerfully. See what I'm saying? It's about fire. It is about fire. It's about fire. You have to have the fire inside, the drive inside, the ability to use these God-given hands to pry open and to pray, hoping that you have a shortcut desktop icon in your computer library, the Akashic Hall of Records, that will take you to the cosmic sandbox, the infinite playground of your innocence. Do you see yourself as innocent? If you don't, you're probably feeling unworthy, undeserving of it, ridden with guilt because you're afraid. So the most amazing spiritual teacher is fear. Yes, it is self-induced and an illusion, but in the grand illusion, until we reach the ultimate reality of love, fear is still the greatest teacher. See? Are you afraid? What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of? Most importantly, are you afraid of anything? You don't have to go into all the details. Are you afraid? You know. You already know. How do you know? Because you know you can't bullshit me. Because I can't bullshit myself. Because wherever we go, we know exactly who we are when we give ourselves some self-to-self reflection. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly why you're doing it. So are you afraid? If so, what are you afraid of? And when you identify with that, the most important question in the batch becomes, why are you afraid of that? Why? Simply why? Let me say that a little differently. Why are you afraid? Why? Just simply why? And don't come up with an answer. Let it linger as if you're wearing a divine marriage ring on your finger. Let it linger. Don't answer the question. That's the point. There is no answer. Ask yourself simply, why am I afraid? There is no other story. There is no other story. Why am I afraid? Knowing who walks beside you at every moment, not of your life, but of your existence throughout eternity. Why could you ever be afraid? So the answer to that is, if we knew who walked beside us, who the Lord is always with us, if we knew that, we would never be afraid See? Do you see? It doesn't require physical sight. It requires vision. The capacity it's not only important to see, you must look. To bring forth your spirit to say, what's happening here? And to bring in from within the spirit, upward and outward, to say, this is what's happening here because I am the one willing it forth. Because I am the divine fire saying, this is the only thing that can ever be a part of my experience. When you achieve this level of spiritual mastery to any degree, you are beginning to live in the garden of eternity for infinity. You see? It's not hard. So are you saying that, Keith, when I die, if I do all... It's exactly what I'm saying. But there's more to it in a simpler fashion than that. You don't have to die to live. Hence the rebirth of the Christ, the Buddha, the Krishna, the lotus flower, the phoenix rising through the ashes, up from the fire. You don't have to die to have everlasting life. Everlasting life has only to do with your consciousness, not your body, because your body is transient. You've been forever, you are now, and forever you will be. If you don't see that, that is the journey. You will have to endeavor, trek, walk, be, however long it takes for you to finally say to yourself, I've always known this, but I have to say to myself, I surrender. I've always known, but I surrender. Feels a little weird. Not as weird as it used to be. That's not so bad. I'm kind of liking this. Give me some more of this. I'm in ecstasy. You see? Changes. The of it all changes. The Yanava, the Paramahansa Yogananda, the Jesus Christ Sananda, the Buddha, the Krishna, the enlightenment point, the spark of the fire that says, I get it, I understand. God is not a being. God is an experience of being by yourself in the cave of Samadhi, to where you realize that you love God so much, you are willing to melt into the spirit, so much so that you lose everything you know as you that is not God, as Marina says, for it to be burnt into the fire. The fire. Keith, you say this all the time. I live this all the time. As to why I'm always doing this. Do you understand? I don't mean understand. Do you stand under something that actually governs your entire life, like the finger of God moving you around? Because you no longer have a say-so in the matter. Your say-so is, I will do this for you as much as I want. Every once in a while, I want to be human. Fantastic. Be a divine fire human being. It goes back to consciousness, doesn't it? A shark in the ocean is a conscious entity, but it's not aware of the fact that it's conscious of its consciousness, and he will eat your ass. Humans have the capability and the promise etched on everyone's heart. In every cave, in the Akashic Hall of Records, everywhere, literally, God is everywhere, omnipresent. So the truth of the covenant is everywhere. It simply becomes, do we see it? Do we free it? When we see it, we free it, and then we be it. When we see it, we be it, and then we free it. Then we meet it, because it's all about you. Even your selflessness is selfishness. Do you really want me to explain that to you? Hello, Kelly. I'm glad you're better, dear. Many blessings to you. Let me say that again. God is not a being. God is an experience of you being wholly yourself. You have to be willing to die and be okay with it. So okay with it that you are getting a running jump start into the fire. It's the only way you're going to acquire being higher. And the only one that is the liar is the knuckleheaded nonsense. Someone asked me many years ago, this happened to be the night of 9/11. I didn't like it like you. I didn't. It sucked being me. It sucked being on this planet when 3,000, give or take, people died. I don't care the story, conspiracy theory, politics, terrorists, that's all irrelevant. It's all terrorism. And in all fairism, the fact is many people died. And I had one of my musician friends say, we need to go get these sons of bitches and blah, 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 blah. He goes, you seem so at ease with all this. Doesn't this bother you? I said, maybe we are at a point in our existence that it's no longer about the survival of our body, but the forgiveness of our soul. His mouth hit the floor. Are you willing to die? Are you willing to forgive so much so you forgive yourself and all of your debtors? What if the only way we can pay our debt is to forgive our debtors? In fact, let me say that differently. The only way to forgive your debt is to forgive your debtors. I am not saying be a fool in a moment if someone is attacking you, or you need to do what you need to do what you need to do in any given moment. Understand what will stop the karmic backlash of in any given moment that you need to do what you need to do is to be conscious that you do what you need to do when you do it. If you need to slap someone across the face, don't just slap them across the face out of reaction. Slap them across the face because you love them. I need to do this. I don't want to do this. I have to do this because something inside of me says, I need to wake you up because you asked me to be your friend, your brother, or your lover. And there is no other one that you have come to but me as to why you're putting this on me to slap you, slap, metaphor, literal, however you need to say, I care about you. Sometimes a panking on a hiney is a good thing. Sometimes, more often than not, it's very abusive. Fear, guilt, what we're talking about tonight, a silent killer, is very elusive because there's no time to think about what's happening. You just find yourself immediately submersed in it. Think about it. All right, Center of Light, The Cave. From brave tonight, tonight's gonna be from brave to slave. For real, y'all. From brave to slave. I'm going to share with you some very personal things from my life that I had to simply walk through. I was scared to death. I was starving and I would have eaten dog poop, knowing that the person who was teaching me how to be peaceful possibly ate dog poop himself. Why are you so peaceful? How is it that I can see stars and God in your eyes all the time? I was hungry for that dog poop or that Scooby snack. Ruby, Ruby, Roo, Raggy. I wanted it. Do you want the it? What is the it? Very good, powerful question. Let me ask that again in your behalf. What is the it? Good question. Let me say it again, because I want to. What is the it? When I go to this song break, go to a mirror and look in it. And look into the eyes, which are the windows to your soul, and see yourself from soul to bones and feel worthy. Check that out. I'll be right back.
summertime when my world is dry, oh so dry. In the summertime I won't have no water. Oh, the wait, it's a little bit harder to take. As I contemplate a billion stars, leaving my hands to fate, that's all I've got, all I've got. In the summertime I won't have no water. It's a little bit harder to in my hands to fade, all up to fade. I wonder why. Ooh, I wonder why. Time for a change. Time for a change. Time for a
Do you feel that? Do you feel that rhythm? Not because the musicians are cool. They probably are, and I'm sure they... Do you feel it? Do you feel the beat of the earth's heart? It's your own heart, but do you see it as such? Do you feel it as such? Do you feel it as much as I do? I hope for you that you do. It's beautiful. It's powerful. It's sexual. It's sensual. It's primal. It's ancient. It's current. It's future. Do you taste that $5 milkshake? Shake up your life. Shake yourself up. Wake yourself up. Cave of Samadhi, as Marina said, again, we go into the cave to burn everything away from ourselves, to burn away everything that is not God. That's delicious. That's like mayonnaise on a good sandwich. Fear, guilt, anxiety, nervousness, shyness. There's a gray area in shyness. There's also a gray area in introvert. Doesn't mean it's not beautiful. It simply depends on a person's ability and wanting to step out, to become vulnerable, to peel the chest open, to let the heart's fire move into the experiences of your life. Well, why do I have to? You don't have to do that. So what happens if I do that? Everything in the nothingness is everything. That is the place, the space, the grace of being in the cave. Everything's backwards. The cave of Samadhi. Being in the spirit of yourself, at your soul essence, which is Yanava. Ya, fire. Na, clarity. Va, backbone. You are made up of these three parts at the most gross level. From subtle to gross. Ya, fire, God, spirit, will, passion, power. This second, this minute, this hour. I am ready to use my fire to devour. Dear Lord, go take a spiritual shower and get clean. Clean yourself. Clean your mind. That is really cleaning yourself. Everything else follows suit. To boot. Jump into the fire. Make yourself naked. Forsake it. Everything else. I'm simply not interested. I'm going into the cave of Samadhi to burn away everything that is not God. Everything that is not a facade. In fact, there wouldn't be nothing left. Hence the reason you take your shoes off, because you're walking on sacred ground, Moses or Mosesette. Because you're going to the journey, you're going on a journey into the land of infinity. That's holy ground. You can bring your religion with you, by all means. Bring your deity, Jesus, Krishna, Buddha, with you. But when you get there, not only is your religion, but even your deities are going to be consumed in the fire. Because your deities are the fire. It's our ideas of what we think those deities mean to us that gives us its importance. But those deities are already dwelling at the right hand of the Father. They're already in the fire. They're in the fire. They're trying to say, come where we are. Not only is the water fine, the fire's fine. Come on in. It feels nice and cozy in here. There's no moseying around. Pocket full of toesy. So, out of all these presentations I do, saying the same thing differently, with different inflections and different voices and all that, what I am doing is I'm consistently spinning this web, this ball of absolute divine light that lives in me, that lives in all of us. I'm just a little more aware of it than a lot of people. And so because of my love for people, is I want to simply just toss that out. Anyone want cookies? Anyone wants cookies? Here's some cookies. Next thing you know, you see a whole bunch of cookie monsters go, cookie. And so you begin to nibble on these things. So when these things begin to integrate, then you begin to graduate. Many people have already been initiated into the fire. Let me tell you what the fire is. You're not gonna like it. You could probably spike it like a football when I tell you the truth. And the truth is, don't be so aloof. The fire is COVID-19. How you like me now? The fire is COVID-19. The fire is COVID-19. I am enjoying being home. In fact, it just doesn't affect me. I've always enjoyed being in my house, being alone, into the fire. I do what I do, this thing that I'm doing now. I've been doing it for years. And I love it. So it's not really affecting me. What affects me, whether people are getting ill because of a true virus, I'm not saying it is or it isn't, because I'm in the fire. I don't care. I care, but I don't care about the noise and the noise pollution of it all. I care about people are being affected and infected with something that has so erected itself that people still have literally a hard-on, even though it's being revealed. It's absolute bullshit. Doctors are saying this is all a hoax now. They are stepping forward. It's not conspiracy theory. I'm not trying to convince you. Just do the research, the inner search for the truth. You know how, or do you know how important and worthy you are? Because if you don't, you will not only find in your research what you're looking for. Regardless of the research, you will never find what you're looking for, which is yourself, because of all the self-doubt. And you can bet that it comes from the feelings of guilt. It always falls under the umbrella of fear. Guilt, insecurity, jealousy. Well, Keith, you don't understand. My partner just cheated on me. Okay, I do understand. You want to jump into the fire? Let's not jack around. Yes, it hurts. I've had it happen, and I've also done it. But I've also lost it, and I've also won it. So let me share with you the truth. It doesn't mean that everyone does not process differently. The truth is, whether a partner, life partner, whatever it is, situation happens to you, it means it's done. It means it's falling into the fire. Well, Keith, you didn't understand. I do understand because I used to understand back when. But my new back when is, I don't care. I simply don't care. I just really don't care. It's noise. It's temporal. It's impermanent. It's never going anywhere. Someone left. Someone left me. They left my sexy human ass. How dare they? Well, they did. Are you okay with that? My job left. Are you okay with that? This left. Are you okay with that? So my point to wrap up from what I've been saying about how passionate I am about bringing these things forth and forth again, said differently, said with different inflection, is you are not in control. You are not in control. You will never be in control because what you know as you is not in control. So the best ploy you have to be in control is to let go and relinquish control. Fear, guilt, insecurity, jealousy, this, that, the other is silent killers, all under the guise of fear, which is the silent killer. It will kill you. It will hasten the demise of your mortality. In fact, you could explore your mortality, because exploring the fact that, check this out, you ready? For those who are afraid and anxious, nervous, I'm going to throw you into the fire. Well, Keith, I like warmth. I'm a little cold. Let me get next to the fire. And I say, let me warm you up a little bit more. Let me pick you up and grab you and throw you into the fire. The fire's hot. You have to be equally as hot. But I'm scared. Enjoy the bonfire. Many people do enjoy bonfires. It's a fall tradition. Fall? A fall tradition? It's a tradition to those who lived in active contrition in the cave of Samadhi. I live this way every day to the greatest possible level I can. And I always venture into the cave again and again to expand to no end. Why are you harboring fear, my dear? Is it not yet clear to you? While you are alive, you are dying. Are you crying for a better life? Here it is, simply laid out and laid into you. Maybe it's time to get laid and not screwed. Chick-a-dude. You see? Wordplay is delicious, isn't it? It's yummy. Like a sandwich with mayonnaise. Like your metaphorical bacon. There is no mistaking that the arena I play in often is more of a divine ocean than it is a coffin. You are so freaking powerful. Every minute, every second, every hourful. Are you full of yourself? I'm going to be seeing you guys soon. I'm going to go into vessel mode. Let's see what's happening in the rooms. YouTube. Hi, Joyce. Kelly says, sure thing. Kelly Bauman says, wow, was told the other day the security business we lost will raise again. Fantastic. Fantastic. Charles Theos. Hey, Charles, you need to send me some balloons on my birthday. Charles says, Kelly says, had to take a dog break. Robert says, gag me with a spoon. What's up, Charles? Everything leaves. Yes, Charles. Everything leaves. Infinite power we have. Totally agree. Hello, Megan, Michael. Actually, Charles, let me share in that deliciousness with you. Charles says, infinite power we have. Infinite power we are. That is what we are, but we actually have it when we realize that we are it. So let's see what's going on. One more, and I'm going to take a short pause. Going to come back. I'm going to go into vessel mode. One day I will get out of announcing it. And then I will close my presentation with you in the Cave of Samadhi. I got about another 10 minutes. I will not have a radio interview tomorrow night. They canceled. They're very busy. So we're going to honor that. Honor yourself. The Cave of Samadhi. Take your shoes off. You won't need them where you're going. And it's an intention to walk on holy ground. To burn, as Marina would say. In the Cave of Samadhi, we hope to experience the burning away of all that is not God. Wow, that is just... makes you want to just put it in a fork and eat it. I will see you shortly. Let's see what we have on the song list. I'm going to play...
Trust that I will guide you in whatever you do. Just remember to breathe and do your very best to live in love, give in love, be in love, and love you shall receive.
to know all the wisdoms in my soul. All along I knew the way. Time has told me every day to breathe, breathe and expand myself, to know there is no one else but me and God who's in my heart. So I'll breathe, breathe and expand myself and know there is no one else but me and God.
Do you want to fall into that? I have no choice. And it's not because it's the music. The music is the excuse, or no pun intended, but pun intended. The instrument that makes me want to simply just dance. I want to feel it. You gotta pop it like it's hot. You gotta throw it down when your song comes out, dog. But the music, though it is humanly pleasant, it's greater than that. It's divinely effervescent. It's full of life. It wants to turn within itself to expand, overcome, and adapt to a new possibility, to a new possibility, to a new possibility. Well, these are not possibilities. This is you, the one who is infinite potential. You are forever expanding, whether you think you are or not. When you get on the conscious program with that, things change. The cave of Samadhi tonight is a silent killer. This is Thriller Night. So what would be the point of this presentation, this entry into the cave where everything gets burnt away if I don't leave you with the nugget that you desire? None. The point is, the silent killer is fear. When you are in an experience of full-blown fear, it's not silent, it's violent. You violently have these feelings, thoughts, expressions, which exacerbates the situation. It's violence. It's not silence. You are in the silent killer because you are unconscious so much that you react to the violence, and then therefore you leave your silence. What is the point of this presentation if I don't tell you the way out, which is the way in? Again and again I have been sharing with you. The way out is in. That's the only way to win. Going inward is metaphorically upward, which is forward, which is twoward. The you that you think you are, the you that you tired of, needs to simply be tossed into the fire. What would be the point if I don't share that with you? Here's the point. Bring that very problem, issue, fear, knuckleheaded nonsense, monkey-minded idea, this beautiful sacred flower, whatever it is to you that you want to call your fear, bring it into the cave of Samadhi, unity with God, beyond anything that you can ever possibly imagine that exists. I don't care what exists. All I know is I want to exist right here, right now, as this with that. Amalgamate, unify with God, and then you fall into the fire. The divine fire, which is, as Marina said, everything you think that you are willing to burn away in the cave of Samadhi. Because it's all has nothing to do with God. Everything you think about, don't over, but just point meaning, everything you think, everything you do, everything you believe is nonsense. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying when held up against the barometer of the absolute truth, in and out, around and all about, on these levels of consciousness, truly is not important. Your life may be important to you and sacred. That's awesome, and as it should be. But when you get to this level of consciousness, nothing up here operates from this perspective. It simply doesn't. It is what it is, and it will always be what it is. That is the love eternal biz that it is. So it requires work from ourselves to be with that which is the eternal self. My Father, I am in me. My Father, I am in my Father is in me, and I'm in you. Circle within a circle within a circle. And then the fourth circle is created when you understand that I am in my Father's in me, and I am in you. So you become aware of this Trinity, which is the fourth component, which is absolute divine power. Your fear is lying to you. It's a big juicy carrot dangling in front of your face, your nose, and it knows nothing. And in our reaction to it, we come congruent with it. Some people have no fear of dogs whatsoever. They will see a huge Rottweiler and they go, "Come here, boy," and the dog's tail's wagging, licking all over their face. And you get somebody else and they go, "Oh, what is that?" How do you think the dog is going to compare you to the person who treated them with utmost, innermost respect? I understand your power, hence the reason I'm saying, go come in here, boy or girl. And then we say, I don't know what this is. Let me tell you what it is. It's the power of God. If God is omnipresent, whatever your fear is a reflection of the light of God to reduce, to reflect to you, to show you your shadow self. The fire is where you will get higher and acquire everything you want. To quote capital letters B-E. I want to be in this place. It requires you to get out of your fear. The silent killer. I'm going to change the music. I think I'm going to go inside. Let's see what I have here. Do I have it here? Here we go. Nope. That's not it. Here we go. Yeah. Good to see everyone. Keith Anthony Blanchard here. Yenava. Charles says, Keith, I keep phrasing my words like Yoda when I get on. I love it. And I really love it. And even though it's funny, I really love it because it makes you mindful of who you are or how you are being in this very moment as to why you're trying to be like the Master Yoda. What a beautiful possibility that is. Everyone, thank you. The Cave of Samadhi. Stop being afraid. Well, Keith, I get that. How do I stop being afraid? No one can tell you how to do that. Stop being afraid. When you understand, realize, truly integrate who, if that who is a who at all, walks beside you, you will never be afraid ever again. Ever. Fuck ever again. You will never, ever be afraid again. Walk into your problem. Walk into your fear, my dear. Make it clear, so much so for yourself, that you know that you owe it to yourself. I was so scared of a high diving board when I was a child. And I couldn't understand why everyone was doing it. How are they so happily doing something I'm so scared to death about? And one day I said, today's the day. And I jumped off the high diving board. I was scared. And I had all these kids behind me saying, Keith, do it! Come on, we're waiting. And I said, I have no choice. I was thrown into the fire. Hence the water of the pool, swimming pool. But it was a fire for me, metaphorically. And I realized when I hit the water, I did not die. And I had a life-changing moment. And I couldn't wait to get back up the ladder to do it again and again and again. So the cure-all for this presentation tonight with you in the Cave of Samadhi, the silent killer, a silent killer. Fear, first and foremost, which is the umbrella, the shelter over guilt, guilty, reprimand, getting your ass whipped, this, that, jealousy, insecurity, is walk right into it. You will absolutely feel uncomfortable until you okay your way through the uncomfortableness. And then you will become the comfortable one, not comfortably numb. You are loved beyond measure. It is my pleasure to be in this treasure trove with you as your cosmic broham sandwich. Charles, send me a balloon, tied it in a knot. Do not forget what you have got. All of you, I simply love you. I love having fun. What else is there? What else is there? Look in the mirror. Feel worthy. Look in the mirror. If you don't feel worthy, more the reason to stay in the mirror and look. It's not only important that you look, It's important that you see, that you free, and that you be. You simply have nothing else, nothing. There's nothing that exists for you that is more important than you. Let me say that again. Nothing more important was ever, is ever, will never be created that is more important than that which is important to you. And until you understand that, stand under something that means anything at all, you will feel short and never tall. Metaphorically, rhetorically, you are the divine birthright. You are the living word. Don't feel absurd about how you feel, about what's precious to you. Get out of fear and move into it fully, powerfully. This second, this minute, this hour, fully will be yours. I love you. I truly love you. How can I say that? Because I love myself. I will see you soon. God bless you.